guys, it's your girl Jody D.I.A, and I'm here with a quick video to show you guys how I make my frontal units. Of course, there are different methods in regards to making wigs, but here is my take and here is how I do my units. So this frontal I'll be using is from Alipearl. Here it is in Deepwave, and I must say it is gorgeous. I did a little plucking and I bleached the knots and of course tinted the lace. I'm making this for my daughter because her head is small, so I like to customize her units because otherwise it's always big. Even the very small wigs, if I purchase a wig in a small size, it is big. So right now I have it on my mannequin head, my head, which is 23 inches. I'm going to change it shortly to the 22 inches because this one was a little too big. And you just want to make sure that your wig is flat on the back of your mannequin. You see that little section there, just make sure that it's flat. And then I'm starting sewing in from the middle. And the thread that I use is the nylon thread. I use that because I think it is a lot stronger than the other type, the regular type. So I like to use the nylon, and I'm just starting from the middle, and then you can start on either side. There's not a specific way in which you start on the left or start on the right. You can start on whichever side makes you comfortable, and then you just sew it all the way to the end, making sure that the stitch is tight and flat because you don't want any bumps, you don't want any roads, you don't want anything that way when you have the wig on it's looking bulky. So you want to make sure that it's laid flat. To make it easier, I recommend using those pins, one at the middle and one on either ends, just to make sure that it's flat and nice, so that way when you're finished sewing it, there's no bumps, there's no lumps or anything. So once you successfully sew one side down, I do up and down. So once I go down to this end, then I'll sew back in reverse and go up the other side, just to make sure that the stitch is tight and it won't slip out when I try to cut the excess cap off or anything. So I go both ways just to make sure, just for extra security. So you want to make sure that that side is down, and then once that side is done, then you can proceed to the other side. Here, look at Aiden all the up in my background, and I'm sewing them an inch apart because especially curly hair, I don't like when it's too full. For me, I like it, but for her, she doesn't like it because she has a very small face. So you want to make sure that you give it some space in between, at least an inch apart. To make it easier, you can use the little chalk lining to line it, but because I typically know where I want it, then I don't need to do that, and I'm just bending it. And when you're bending it, especially, you want to make sure that the tab that you're bending is very flat, because if you don't make sure that it's sewed down tightly and it's flat, it will feel bumpy, and sometimes it will show, especially if you're doing straight here. So you want to make sure when you're folding it over, the flap that you're folding over is very flat. And I'm doing everything, in a circular manner until I reach to the top. Then I'll start to go across, but I'm doing it pretty much from ear to ear, from one side to one side, going around pretty much in the pattern that you see me having it there, at least an inch apart. And this is when it's almost at the top. And as you can see there, I'm going across because I believe when you go across at the top, it lets the top look a lot flatter, a lot seamless. So that is the method I go with, around ear to ear for the beginning, and then of course at the top I go across to make sure I have that seamless look. And this is how everything look when I'm done. See, I love it, and she's loving it too. She was there watching me while I was doing it, and yeah, to say the least, she was impressed. And I just am right now adding some water and conditioner. That is what is in my misting spray bottle. And yeah, that's the excess cap, because you want to make sure that you cut it off so that way you can have the seamless lace look in the front of the lace. I'm just cutting it off, and I'm just using my same little scissors from my manicure set that I used to cut my lace and everything. I'm just using that to just cut the excess cap off. And you guys can use the mesh cap. I know sometimes people prefer using the mesh dome cap or the spandex ones. I personally prefer using the spandex one. So for every unit that I make for myself or I make for others, it is on the spandex, wig cap, and not the mesh wig cat. And then I'm just putting it back on to the unit, so that, not on the unit, to the head, so that I can comb it out. And look at it, it looks so flawless. And this is before I, you know, cut my baby hair, take my baby hair out and everything. I'm just making sure that the hair is thoroughly combed out, the water and conditioner is evenly distributed everywhere, so that, you know, the unit is seamless and looking flawless. And I like how it's not too thick. Guys, you have to take into consideration the head that's going to wear the unit. And I only use like 2.5 bundles. So 2.5 bundles and a 13x4 closure. And the bundles are from Cranberry here on AliExpress. They're 18 inches. And then again, the frontal is from Alipearl, also 18 inches as well for the frontal. And I'm sure you guys can tell that it's from 2 different vendors. And as you can see, I'm watching my Real Housewife of Atlanta in the background. It's a Sunday night, so I, you know, a girl gotta, you know, catch up on her watching of that, because that's one of my favorite shows. And this is how it looks after I was done with making the unit. That was the style she wanted. And look at it, look at my girl, look at my girl going off. Get it, Jada, get it, Jada. Yeah, and I love how everything was. It wasn't too full. And look at the melt. Trust me, Alipearl, if you haven't purchased from them yet, it is a go-to for your lace. It is flawless. And I fixed it up and switched it up a little. So here it was how it looked. And guys, thank you so much for watching my video. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. And yeah, share. Please share. Please share. And if you have any videos that you want to see, don't hesitate to let your girl know. Again, thank you so much for watching. And yeah, see you next time.